Hey y'all, welcome back to the Becky Hill email dump drama. I'm McKinley Molassau, criminal defense attorney in Austin, Texas. This is Legally Live, and today we are going to be discussing the Fitz News email dump from the FOIA request that Fitz News did on the Colleton County Court of Clerk, Miss Becky Hill, who was the court of clerk for the Alec Murdaugh trial. She is also the one who wrote Behind the Doors of Justice about the Alec Murdaugh trial. If you are not familiar with this case, or with Becky, I should say, I do have a Becky Hill playlist, so I will link it below. Go ahead and check it out. But today, we are going to talk about all the drama. So get ready. Okay. First things first, we should just start with the big headline that came out recently, which was that Becky Hill's co-author, Neil Gordon, released a statement yesterday, I believe, where he really ripped Becky for plagiarizing. He claims that he had gone through the email dumps himself and that he came across the plagiarized material in her email dump. There, I did read on Reddit, though, that there are other people, or maybe it was Twitter, I don't know, somewhere on there, that the publishing company or editor or something had been notified by someone on like some social media platform about the plagiarized material, and that's how he found out about it. But I don't know. Who knows? All I know is he said he found it going through his email and that he will never work with her again. And he just totally threw her under the bus. Like it was all her fault. Like he had nothing to do with it. I mean, he was the co-author. He also bears some responsibility, it would seem. Like he could have easily checked for plagiarized work himself, but no. I mean, also, she's a terrible writer, and this was good writing, like from an author. So it should have stood out to him, but maybe he didn't read the work before he put it in the book, or maybe he knew about it, or maybe he didn't. I don't know, but he says he didn't. She has gone on to admit through her attorney, who is, I believe, I don't remember his name right off the top of my head, but I want to say it's like Justin. It's Justin something, Bainberg, or I don't know. I can't remember, but it's weird because I remember the name. When I heard it, I was like, oh, shoot. I've heard that name before, and I've heard it in relation to people who were like suing Alec Murdaugh, or I believe that's exactly what it was. I think it was like some of his ex-clients were represented by this attorney, I believe. Maybe I'm getting yeah, Bamberg, I think. Yeah. Well, I think they released a statement that said that, or maybe it was just released by Becky Hill, but she admitted to plagiarizing, right? Plagiarized this work from this woman, this author or a reporter for the BBC who was reporting on the Murdaugh trial, who had accidentally forwarded or sent Becky her draft, like, story on Alec Murdaugh and the trial, and had then followed it up and asked Becky to delete it like a little bit later, but Becky was like, oh, I will, but such great work, like great article or great story or whatever. But she claimed she was going to delete it, and then she didn't, and then she went on and used it herself, and then she admitted to it after Neil Gordon sold her out. And she said she really apologized for that one lapse of judgment. That's like a gigantic lapse of judgment. Ma'am, I'm not going to believe a damn thing that comes out of your mouth or that you write ever again. You plagiarized. After telling this reporter, that you were going to delete the email, you then went and used it almost word for word. That's crazy. And then she admits to it and says it's because she had like a really strict deadline under a crunch. But it was self-published, so it was her own deadline. So I don't even feel sorry for her. And she's just such a Karen through these emails, I just can't even take it. But also, I think I found some more like semi-plagiarized stuff. I'm gonna let y'all in on it. Hold on one moment. So hopefully y'all can see this, but on October 30th, so I believe this was definitely after the motion for new trial had been filed, right? By Alec Murdaugh's attorneys. And, in that motion, they mentioned the jury tampering allegation, right? So Laura Collins with Mail Online writes Becky and says, I hope you had a good weekend. I saw a report at the end of the week that suggested there had been a new filing in the bid for a new trial, ? Has there? If so, I would be grateful if you could forward it to me. Thank you, Laura. Doesn't ask for a statement, doesn't ask for anything, right? So, Rebecca Hill responds, how much after? Okay, so she sent it at 9:38 a.m., right? Well, later, at 17:30, I don't even know what time that is. Like, I don't know. I can't do military time. I don't even know. But anywho, she responds with, this is not a statement, just something I wanted to share. The first 3 paragraphs are quoted from a news source, just a news source in September, just a news source. Doesn't say who the news source is. Then also doesn't like actually quote it, I don't think, really. I mean, she did like indent, like to show it came from something else, but like, did she also not write this right here? I'm confused. Because if she did, she wouldn't have like indented this to go with this. But, she's not a great writer. We know this. So could be, right? Could be. Wait, what happened over here? What has happened over here? Okay, sorry. Okay, so then it says, while Alec Murdaugh was still While Alec Murdaugh still insisted he didn't shoot his wife and son, Murdaugh was forced to acknowledge lying to investigators about his whereabouts. I lied about being down there, and I'm so sorry that I lied, he said. Murdaugh and his lawyers have cited paranoia from his alleged opioid addiction, his distrust of state investigators, and his growing suspicions as police swabbed his hands for gunpowder residue and asked about his relationship with his family. Seems to be a lot of lies that surround this entire realm. A fair trial was 100% held in State v. Murdaugh. The jury heard evidence for 6 weeks and came back with a verdict that they believe was true and solid. No jury tampering was done by anyone. The planning and organization done pre-trial by court officials, county and city law enforcement, and other officials in the city was done with efficiency and crucial intention to ensure that all facets of a trial of this magnitude was done. Dude, they need to use some punctuation. Cooperatively and honestly and with great care. It is sad that a team of lawyers is allowed to weave such a tangled web of lies and try to destroy credibility in an elected official who stands on truth and is trustworthy and tenable. Oh my God. Was that, y'all, that was like, so no, that was too much. Those were long sentences. Also, please see attached motion for new trial, which is basically the same thing filed in September. Sincerely, Becky Hill, right? Okay, so maybe that would be normal, right? I mean, she did at least put in the very first paragraph that like, this is not a statement. And she also attributed it to another news source, right? But like some random news source. We don't know who the news source is. And honestly, I didn't care enough about it to go digging. I probably should have just copied it and pasted it and put it in the browser, but I didn't. But then I notice, what page did this next one come in on? Hold on one second. Okay. Well, then I go a little further down, right? Because these are these emails are not actually like in order for some reason. So I see this one to somebody different at Mail Online, Kamal Sultan, on October 29th. And it was in response to an October 28th email where she says, "Hello, I'm writing a story about Alec Murdaugh's latest motion for a new trial in the murders of his wife and son over claims of jury tampering. His attorneys submitted court documents in Colleton County, South Carolina on Friday asking that a trial judge hold an evidentiary hearing on the allegations against you, Becky Hill. Murdaugh's legal team has accused you of improperly counseling jurors to disregard his testimony and pressured them to reach a quick verdict. Could I please have a comment to include in my story as soon as possible? Thanks, Kamal." Mind you, same damn comment that wasn't a comment or wasn't a statement. Remember that she said the next day to another Mail Online writer, you know what would be great? I wonder if this came from a BBC writer. I mean, who knows? But what if she actually took it from one of their own writers, like a Mail Online writer? That'd be hilarious. But clearly she says it came from a news source. It's not hers. But anyway, she verbatim copies it without that top paragraph, right? So here we are. It's just the while Alex Murdaugh still insisted he didn't shoot his wife and son, blah, 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 blah. And then instead of how she usually signs off with, it usually says Rebecca Becky Hill, clerk of court. Instead, Office of Colleton County Clerk's Office, even though it came from her email address. So it's like she sent it as like a statement, as their comment. Like it was hers. But it's not hers. I also saw that there's two places or two different dates where Becky Hill gave herself and other members of the clerk's office substantial bonuses or incentive payments. And I looked into that a little bit, and it seems to say that, like, it seems that the consensus is that she is allowed to do that because it came from the child support funds, and her office handles child support. So I guess incentive payments are allowed to come out of there, but I'm not sure. That's not legal advice. That's not even a legal opinion. I'm just telling you. I read that somewhere. Could have been a lie. I'll look more into it, though, in the future. But I just wanted to mention that I did see those two bonus payments. So in going through these emails, I also noticed that there are several instances where during the actual trial, the clerk of court has a website, and there must have been like a form there to submit an inquiry. And a lot of people watching the trial would submit these web inquiries to the clerk of court, kind of like spouting off to like, mostly to say things about Murdaugh, to complain about him or to give just really crazy information that they thought could be used in the trial, to help the state. She would take these and forward them to Creighton Waters and to the AG's office during the trial, like to tip them off. Hey, this person said, like one time it was a psychic, and she sent the psychic's predictions about the case to Creighton Waters or to the AG's office. This one, I think she specifically sent to, this one was about defense witness Mike Sutton. And she just sent it to Carly Jewell at the AG's office. But there was one in here that she actually sent straight to Creighton Waters. This one, though, is, he says he's a former paratrooper and qualified U.S. Army veteran and left the service at a rank of captain. I regularly shoot AR-15s. Whatever. It's a bunch of blah, blah, blah about guns and whatnot. The witness's testimony that the shooter had to be 5'2" to 5'4" is frankly pathetic. His projections rely solely on the assumption that the shooter was standing upright when shooting. He ignores the probability that the shooter was either on one knee or standing, but in a crouched position with his knees bent significantly. It is very likely an attacker would have been crouched low to conceal their presence, at least at the start of the killings. He also ignores that the actual rifle could have anywhere from a 7-inch to 24-inch barrel, and if it was outfitted with a collapsible stock, all of his assumptions would have to change. I am hopeful you are ready to rebut these assertions, as I find them laughable. Well, I'm hoping, well, I was hopeful that the clerk of court would not be ready to rebut those assertions, since she has no place in the trial. None. She has no place in it. She is not an actor. She is not a party. No place in the trial. But here she is, inserting herself and forwarding it to one of the parties. That's just like not okay. We're going to look at some more of them though. Just wait. So this one came on February 21st, and she went ahead and forwarded it straight to Creighton Waters and Carly Jewell and Charles Gent. I don't know how you say that name. I'm terrible at reading or pronouncing names. Also, sometimes just like reading in general. Okay, so this one comes from somebody named Andy Gibbs at andygibbs.com. He says, the subject is murder trial. 4, Creighton Waters. Forensic research witness is ignoring the standard crouching, stalking posture of a 6'3" person would use to quietly approach the target. His assumption assumes someone simply walking up to a target to shoot. On cross, ask what height the 300 blackout would be if stalking a target. Like, yo. She sent it to Creighton. That's not her job. That's not her place. No, ma'am. No, Miss Becky. Miss Becky Karen. You got to stop. Stop. And then there's this jewel on the 22nd from Susan Johnson. I should say from Karen Johnson to Karen Hill. Actually, it was to the clerk of court because it came from the website, right? It says subject, Murdaugh judge. Honorable judge, please stop the defendant from constantly eating during testimony. I work in a courtroom setting myself and have never seen such disrespect for a court of law. Susan Johnson, Midwest City, Oklahoma. Now, don't go emailing this person or like looking her up or anything like that. She is a Karen, clearly. But guess who Miss Becky decided to send this to? I guess when it says it's to a certain person, but like, honestly, if they would have sent a message to Jim Griffin or Dick Harpootlian or Alec Murdaugh, would she have forwarded those messages to them? Doubtful. She went ahead and sent this one straight to Judge Newman's clerk. Okay, and then this little gem, I just thought it was kind of funny. She sent it to Kelly and Jason Chapman at Colleton County and said, FYI, it is another inquiry from somebody inciting protest. And they leave their phone number and everything. And if you know, I don't know who Andra Griffin is, but I do know who Jonathan Lee Riches is. But anyway, she says, I would like to make your county and the courthouse aware that there are 2 YouTube creators outside your county house that are inciting possible protest in front of the court for the Murdaugh. Andra Griffin and Jonathan Lee Riches are both from Florida. Please research these people. They have a history of causing problems in many cases. Jonathan Lee Riches is a longtime criminal. Please research these people. They are there to cause trouble for law enforcement. Please keep a check on these people. The community is not safe with these 2 criminals. They will incite protest against your officers. I don't think they actually did that. I don't think so. Didn't hear anything about that. But I just thought it was crazy that people were sending that kind of stuff. Crazy. I tell you, people on the tubes are crazy. Oh, I also did want to say earlier, I said that like because it came from the child support fund or something that she could give it to people in the clerk's office. But I did see another place cited that said that the law in South Carolina might say that the actual clerk cannot give themselves, it prohibits the clerk from giving themselves extra pay no matter the source. But I didn't like actually look for the law in South Carolina, so I don't know. I saw 2 different things, so who knows? I'm sure that the ethics committee will know the answer though, right? Okay, so here's the email on May 26th where she is scrambling, right? To Mike Gasparo. Hold on a second. Let me zoom in on this. Hold on a sec. Okay. She says on May 26th, Exhibit 1 and Exhibit 6, the body cam videos of Officer Green and Officer McDowell were sealed in all caps during the trial and then inadvertently released to you due to the fact that the court reporter didn't mark them as sealed. I believe we spoke about this when I learned that this had happened, and you agreed on your word, that you would not use them. Do you remember this? Did we email about this as well? See, she don't even know. And he responds, I won't show Paul or Maggie was said. The videos already live online. And she says, Mike, I'm at a hearing in Columbia at present with the defense team and the AG's office with Judge Newman. It would be amazing if you could take that video down. The prosecution and defense will, at the order of the judge, be mailing you a hearing request on this if you and I can't agree to the video coming down. Would you be agreeable to just take it down? We have another video that was an exhibit that can be used in its place. I can let you know which exhibit that was. This is the homie that you were emailing back and forth with, giving him all the information, giving him all of the documents, giving him all of the exhibits, giving him all of the videos throughout the entire trial. It wasn't inadvertent. You sent those. I remember seeing the emails with McDowell and Green on them. Both body cams. He had gone and met with like somebody, some law enforcement official or some public official of some sort, and emailed you and said, I heard that you could help me with this. And you sent him those as attachments, like right away. So, and also that's not even what you said in your response, your draft response on the ethics thing. Not even what you said. You said that everyone was sent the same thing, but they weren't. You can see in all of these emails that people were sent things at different times, that Becky goes back and deletes everything from her computer and then has to ask media for it later when she's going to give a talk and she needs these exhibits herself because obviously she's using these exhibits in her talks about this case. It's just crazy. Just crazy, man. Okay, so I remember this actually, like after the trial, this coming out, that one of the guys that like went on to be in all of those he was one of the jurors, and he went on to like talk on all of the shows. He went to New York with Becky, which, by the way, NBC, I think, or maybe it was ABC or somebody, paid for Becky and her daughter to go to New York for an entire week after the trial, and she went to accompany her 3 jurors. She was basically like their talent manager or agent or something for that period of time, it almost seemed like. But anyway, I remember them saying that James McDowell was related to one of the law enforcement officers on the scene. Well, when I was looking back through these videos that she sent of the body cams that were sealed, it was the number 1 and number 2 officers on the scene, and one is Green and one is McDowell. So they were definitely related. That sucks. That really sucks for Alec. Yeah. Oh, but I forgot to show y'all what I was trying to show you. But look, on April 25th, at 3:42 a.m., at 3:42 a.m., she wrote, "Here are the 2 videos I believe you asked for. Let me know if this is correct and if there's anything else. One is Alec Murdaugh's first interview, and the other one is the Buford McDowell body cam." Just straight up sends them to him. He had asked for them on April 24th. See, he said, "Hey, Becky, hope you're well. I just left Captain Chapman and wanted to see if you could help me with dash cam and body cam footage. I'm in town and we're working on our next episode of the Netflix documentary. Let me know if you have time to talk. Best, Mike." Yeah. She just right away, like, I don't know, I guess as soon as she woke up, if she wakes up at 3:42, she sent that to him. And then he sent back later saying, "Great meeting in person. Please send the rest when you get a chance." See, because like she was sending these because this is also the person that she made the agreement with to have an interview in the Netflix documentary, like where she went back and forth with her co-author about how she could get an interview where she got to tout her book that was about to be released and have a little audio spot played there and like the cover of her book or something. This is the guy that she worked that out with. So she just, is being super helpful and sends all the body cam footage that he wants. And there it is. It wasn't because it was like, in her draft response, this is not what she said she did at all. She said she sent it all to the same people at the same time. Not true. So she responds back, "Mike, it was great to meet you and Jay and Lavelle today. I will start sending more later tonight. I'm helping G coach a T-ball team with grandsons on it. Hope y'all found a good place to eat today." And then on the 26th, he says, "Hey, just making sure you don't forget about me." And that was at 3:40 p.m. And at 4:32 p.m., she sent back Daniel Green body cam video right away. Yep. And then later, she, like on May 1st, she has her employees running down to UPS to get them to get Sign Mart, the same people doing the Netflix thing, to get them a thumb drive. Like, holy heck, man. The incompetence and just like waste of resources going on in this office seem pretty ridiculous. There's also a little buggy flying around. Then she sends out this hot mess in July. Okay, OMG, my internet tripped out. I am so sorry, but here we are. So this is from Topspin Creative on July 17th, and they say, "Hi, Rebecca. Thank you very much for your great cooperation." These people, I think, are the ones from Japan that are doing like a series on the Murdaugh case. Anyway, they say, "I will wait for those more materials and please send them to me. I could download all of them you've kindly sent to Maki. Thank you very much. I quickly checked them and have a few questions. The folder Murdaugh videos, we have one body cam video titled Buford McDowell body cam video. But it seems it's missing another body cam video showing Alex talking about what happened. You could see this video," and then they put in the link. "Can you send this video as well?" And in the folder transfer, there is photos library, which has photos showing some party held at the Rockefeller Center. And it seems it's not related or related. I really appreciate it if you could check it again and let me know if you have other photos library which related to this case. So just sent some random ass pictures, probably from the person that she requested these back from, like another journalist at some point. She requested them back because, remember I told you she had to get the, what is this thing called? She had to get the Dropbox reshared with her because she had deleted it from her computer, which duh, because they shouldn't have ever been on her personal computer to begin with. But anyway, she responds back, "Miho." I think that's how you say it. I don't know. Miho, I don't know. "The Buford McDowell body cam should not have gone to you." This is July 17th. They already had a hearing about this in May, and she already had to try to get them back from the Gasparo guy. Remember that whole debacle we just read about? "Please get rid of it and do not use it. The judge, Judge Newman, specifically ordered that that body cam not be used if it got out. Apparently it is still on the videos that are saved. I appreciate your attention to this." Okay, here's the thing. She's in charge of getting if she's going to be the person who's sending these videos out, then she is in charge of making sure she is not still spreading these sealed videos. That's like contempt of court. She's violating a court order on several occasions. And this is serious, you know? So, once again, courting the media. This Miss Becky. Incompetence, I tell you. Oh, and would you look at this? On July 17th, Carl Coffin sends Sierra DeVore, TJ Grant, and LaShonda Linder, and Becky Hill an email about a Dateline interview. Sierra, TJ, and Shonda. "I received a call this morning from Carol Gable, who works with NBC. They will be using our meeting room on Wednesday morning for an interview with Becky Hill, clerk of court. I was told that the camera crew is coming and will have a bunch of equipment to set up in the meeting room. The camera crew should be here at 9 a.m. to set up. The interview is at 11, and they should be out of here by 1 p.m. In case things get a little chaotic Wednesday morning, I am giving you a heads up." Oh. Wait. So they're going to go to the Colleton County Memorial Library on this situation, right? Because Dateline's going to be doing an interview with Becky Hill starting at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on what day? Wednesday. Wasn't that a work day? Was that about her book? It was on July 17th. I wonder. Did she leave work? Was she still getting paid to be at work? I think she was. I love this. She did speak to text and then didn't even review it. Sam, good morning, period. Spells out period. I am on vacation this week, period. But, and then it's not capitalized. Of course not, because it wasn't an actual period. I have a young man in my office who is able to be the contact person, period. His name is Gary Hill, and then there's an actual period, but then not a capitalization. And he has the CDs, period. I'm going to loop him in on the email as well and let y'all talk. Okay. Here's another email that Miss Becky Hill is writing to someone about an E&O policy for personal. Notice it says for personal at 10:33 a.m. on Monday, July 10th. So she would have been back in the office that week, I believe. It says, I'm interested in getting a quote for an E&O policy for my LLC company with my book. Good thing. I hope she got that E&O policy. Behind the Doors of Justice. Can you please let me know how to proceed with this? Thanks. And then here's her LLC. Wind River Media, 522 Dowling Avenue, Wattleboro, South Carolina. I shouldn't say that. But it's the LLC, so I don't know. Anyway, these are all publicly available, right? Estimated revenue, $200,000. I don't think that's how much. I think that might have been overshooting her shot a little bit, but I don't know. I could be. OMG, this is kind of disgusting. So I'm really going to end this after this one little situation. So I was reading through all these emails from this stream of, like, as the trial was ending, all the journalists and attorneys and stuff are, I don't know, I think there was one attorney, but the one that represented one of the boys that was on the boat. I forgot his name. I feel like, it was Connor Cook. Connor Cook's attorney, Joe McCullough, was one of them, but it's also a bunch of journalists. She sends this to Neil on June 19th, and she says, this email is full of emails of all the in people with the media at the trial. I'm also sending you by text a copy of what I've written down. P.S. Just got off the phone with former SLED agent and book writer Rita Schuler. She wrote several true crime books, and one in particular on a cold case here in Colleton County that got solved through her help. She is just a precious soul. I don't know if I trust that cold case. Okay, so this one's from Seton. And it's just like all this, you know, heaps of praise about how much fun they had at this trial and all the parties that they threw and everything. This one's from Avery at Post and Courier. Seton Tucker was a co-host of one of the Murdaugh podcasts, I believe. The Jason Ryan. I don't know who that is, but Jason. This one is, it seems like somebody from a legal group. Allison Reichard. Joe McCullough. And then Valerie Bowerlin Jackson. And I think she works for the Wall Street Journal. But anyway, she threw a joint birthday party for her and Becky. But see all the emails in here? These are all the in people in the media. And she just wanted to make sure that she sent them to her co-authors so they would have all the emails, you know, for their email list for the book. Gross. Gross. Anyway, I will be doing another one of these, I'm sure, because there are gazillions of emails here, and there are actually 2,172 pages, and I'm discovering new things all the time. I will eventually get around to linking the playlist in the description, so go check that out, and don't forget to like and share and come back. Okay, bye.